Let's tune this, shall we? Oh, that's kind of a close-up, isn't it? We don't want to be that close, do we? No? Do we? How's that? That good? Should have tuned this. Yeah. Should have tuned this before I started this live. There we go. Anybody in here yet? Michael Dow, what's up, man? So Jeff doesn't like me anymore. You heard it here first. Jeff texted me, telling me he was live. And I was dealing with some stuff at home, you know, because I'm at home, right? And then President like 30. And I try to join in, and he doesn't let me in. Then he gets off the thing. I don't think Jeff likes me anymore. So there's that, right? Sorry for the hum. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Let's see if we can change the position of this camera here. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. That might be better. There, how's that? Yeah, that's better. That's better. So, single coils? No, it's a double. This is a raw, just like, the guitar is dirty, but yeah, there's just a single knob on this one. This is just your basic. This is the one I had in the truck for a minute. So there's that. Let's do some shout outs here. We got Next Gen, Michael Dow, RD, Trucker Seals, what's up? Rock and roll. Are you going to cut heads with Jack Butler? Yeah, Jack Butler would probably cut my head off. Let's see, we got Chucky is in the house. Thomas Wilson is here. Why are we humming with humbuckers? I don't know. It's cold in Michigan. Yeah, that's why I'm not up there. It's cold here too. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, but they keep changing the forecast. You know, the thing with Springfield forecasting is a lot of times I-44 is the dividing line. Like it'll snow like crazy like in Marshfield, but then like in Joplin it won't do anything. So let's see if we can make this a little bit further back so you guys can see the guitar. And there we go. That's not too bad. We still can't see my hair. Let's do that. Like my Slayer thing. My daughter got me for that for 1 year. Anyways, I was trying to be in Jeff's live feed, but I guess he didn't want me. So, or snore by day, Juilliard student by night. Nah, I don't think about that. seconds here. Makes me wonder if it was dropped while I was gone. Break a string. I feel it. So did you guys catch Jeff's live feed there? He was doing a round table kind of thing with two people. Let's see, let's get this on the YouTubes here. There it is. More. I'm just east of Wichita. I gotta go over by Davenport tomorrow. Yeah, you're gonna be right in the thick of it, RD. Song request, Tornado of Souls. I don't know that one. I don't know any Megadeth. Really. 61 Savannah, right? Let's put the phone up here so I can take a look here. But oh, burn that down. Chucky, your truck's broke down? That sucks. Do you know what's wrong? How about how sad CNG? Hopefully, oh, okay, yeah, we're talking to. That sucks, Chucky. Hope it gets better soon. Hope the tow wasn't too bad. Did you guys know in Arkansas that they can't tow the truck and trailer together? They got to tow you separate. I think that's a load of BS, because what turns to be a $1,500 tow becomes a $3,000 tow. sad song for Chucky. What's the Sam? I don't know what the Sam is. I don't know what the Sam is there, Chucky. Because I'm dumb. Where are you, Chucky? Are you someplace warm? Well, that's not bad on towing. Just on the other side of Peoria. Well, let's hope it's under warranty. You still got any warranty left on that truck? I was trying to figure out the Pale Rider song. I had it earlier. That sucks. I feel your pain. I have absolutely no warranty. I have two things going on with my truck that will go in the shop next week for. I'm starting to see some DEF residue around the exhaust, so that means that my dozer valve is probably like being done, and then of course the engine coolant, and then I gotta have something else looked at too. But I do have 2 loads booked. First one is pick up till Monday, but I'll actually spend the night in the truck tomorrow because it's like an early morning pickup, and it's got to be in Kansas City by noon, straight delivery. And then, so I want to be there staged. And then I have a straight through load for Tuesday. So. Well, John, here's the story with the Pale Rider song. So, Pale Rider has always had this theme. It's kind of got like a mariachi thing going on. So, one day I was bored, and I put lyrics to it. Pale Rider is a trucker, to the melody. And he used that for his intro for a while. It annoyed everybody. It was awesome, right? Because, that's what we do on YouTube. We annoy. Is that annoying? See, this is what we love to do. That's annoying, right? And and the rest is history. But he went back to the mariachi thing, dropped my whole shebang, and then, which is fine. And then every now and then he'll do a video with the whole song, like the whole mariachi song. You gotta do some ugly chords, right? RD, you do any ugly chords? Tone King pre-show. No, Dave, that's not happening. For Dave, I'll do this. That's for you, Dave. Let me figure this out here. I had this figured out. Dave says, now you're cooking with gas. Dave, the next time we talk on the phone, remind me to tell you the story of why that phrase is so hilarious and scary at the same time. No, I don't do any Firehouse. Captain and Tennille. Oh, you know a Captain and Tennille song. Man. Screaming Dimmy, you must be old. Older than me. Are you older than me? I do not know Raining Blood. I know, I used to know South Heaven. I do. Anybody has the latest Apnea CD, there's a Slayer cover on that. We do Black Magic. Did you ever go party with Captain and Tennille? RD? Redskin Mask. Oh, man. I don't know that one either. Nope, don't know that one either. Why didn't you go party with Captain Tennille, RD? Why'd you change your name? That's weird. I used to know, see, this is like the first time I picked up the guitar in a while, other than me attempting to learn Pale Rider song. I used to know South of Heaven. Touche, RD, touche. RD, the reason why I changed my name because I wanted to capitalize on the Viking trend. I wanted to capitalize on the fact that I got the caveman look going on. And I'm in and out of the caves in Springfield all the time. And I wanted to capitalize on the fact that I can do the metal thing, right? Right? Barely. Vikings. Yeah, little Viking coach, man. Vikings are awesome. Viking makes you think of RVT. Well, here's the deal, Thomas. Here's the deal. A person like Red Viking Trucker, I don't let him get in my head because I don't watch him, right? And when all the YouTubers were attacking him and just, it was almost like obsession, right? It was almost like obsession. And so, yeah, I can see that, but, you know, Vikings were way cool before Red Viking Trucker ever came along. And, like, for example, one of my favorite bands is Amon Amarth. They're a Viking metal band. Some of my favorite Viking groups, music groups, are like, that are non-metal, are Danheim and Wardruna. You know, I like that. You know, I like the Viking culture stuff. Is pretty cool. And you know, in Christmas, you know, a lot of the Christmas traditions that we have are actually Nordic in nature. You know, like the Christmas tree and Santa Claus and the whole wintry thing. 'Cause if you think about it, you know, the birth of Christ, you know, was in a desert somewhere, right? And so there's a lot of Nordic traditions that were added to Christmas as part of the winter solstice, and I really enjoy those. You know, Viking music kind of calms me down. That's a good song. I don't know any Striper. I listen to a lot. I mean, look at my shirt. Look at my shirt there. Striper. See? So, Dice Man going live. What's up, man? I hope you like the couple of people I've helped contribute to your company there, sir. Hope they do well over there. you're still stuck on the late 70s, early 80s music, there we go. This is for Thomas. That was for you, Thomas. That was for you. Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. I love that song. Mr. Montana, you're gonna be disappointed. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot of covers. I was never one of those guys that sat in his room and learned a bunch of covers, and the ones that I did were more obscure. Because I got into metal kind of late. And here's the situation. So, in Springfield, Missouri, there's like one classic rock station. It was called US 97. It still is, right? And they play the same like 15 songs, the same Led Zeppelin, the same One Kiss song. Even though they got like 23,000 albums, the same Black Sabbath song, the same. So when it came to the basic hard rock, I was so sick of it already, right? And as I got into metal, I pretty much went from 0 to 60 pretty quickly. I didn't have this gradual start. I went into, you know, 1 minute I'm listening to Stryper, and then the next minute I'm listening to Metallica, and then the next minute I'm listening to like Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, you know, Slayer. And during that time, I had a job. You know, I had bills to pay, so I didn't have time to sit there and learn everybody's stuff. Because I didn't start playing guitar until I was 17. Sergeant Ringo asks, what advice would you give someone wanting to play guitar? Find a guitar. Well, search YouTube. You know, like, what style of music do you want to play? Ringo, what style of music do you want to play? Find a guitar that plays. You don't have to put a whole lot. Thing about guitars these days is you can buy a $200 guitar. This was a $200 guitar. Plays real nice. It's real easy. And you know, and just learn exercises. You know, you got to get used to the, like good exercises. You know, you got to develop your dexterity skills, develop your calluses a little bit. But there is a plethora of good beginner guitar YouTube lessons that are free. But I do recommend, if you're on the road, that's hard to do, but I do recommend maybe having a lesson. And then learn your basic chords, you know, like G, A, E minor, or E major, then you got C, and then you got D, which I'm not really fast on my basic chords. But once you learn the power chord, everything is at your disposal, right? But there's plenty of online resources. There's plenty of apps. Learn how to read tablature, and just buy a guitar that feels good to you. You don't have to get crazy. They got amps. They got amps on your that you can put on your phone or your tablet that sound as good as anything out there, right? So sign your son up for a lesson with good. Here's the thing with that, Demon. My oldest daughter, we bought her a guitar. I bought her one of those dime. It wasn't dime bag, but it was the Dean Explorer V thing. And we had her. We gave her. We bought her lessons of the top guitar player in Springfield, right? But I don't think her heart was in it, because she took lessons for about 3 months and then it was done, right? And I don't even think she has a guitar anymore. And then my son wanted to learn how to play guitar, so we bought him a Fender. He was little. We bought him a Fender 3/4 scale, and he never did anything with it. But he showed enough interest that we went and bought a full scale guitar when he got bigger, and it ended up just collecting dust and all that. So I ended up trading that in for something I wanted, because it was a Fender. I'm not a huge fan of Fender guitars. And I try to give my kids the things that I couldn't, right? Because if I wanted lessons, it was very expensive for me, because I was working a minimum wage job, right? And so I wanted to give them, but I think at that point they don't appreciate it, right? And so it really tests like their dedication. I'm sorry about that, guys. It really. Let's see if I can mute the phone here. It really. You got to have a passion for it, My youngest daughter did get into the piano, and she's doing really good with that. My son has expressed a newer interest in guitar, but not willing to spend the money at this point. If he wants it, he has to get it. That's why I say a good teacher is what counts. They can really get them interested right from the get-go. Some of them get so overloaded in theory that it becomes information overload. And that brings up a good point, Sergeant Ringo. Some more advice for you. Screaming Demon brings up a good point. Don't get too obsessed with theory. Don't get too obsessed with the rules. Develop an ear. Some guys learn songs by ear, and some guys have to have a book in front of them with the tablature and learn the positions. And some guys, get so obsessed in theory, it becomes like a whole, like algebra, right? And so, to me, a song loses meaning if you concentrate too much on the theory and not enough on the soul of the song. And that's kind of why, that's kind of where I'm at musically. So, and remember, a 40-watt Marshall tube amp is too loud to play in the house unless your wife is at home. This is a 50-watt amp. And it's not even like a third of the way up. I'm an OTR trucker. I'd like to learn to play electric guitar. Is there an amp you'd recommend for taking on the road to learn? I'm kind of out of the loop on amps, but there's like little small amps that you can buy, and then you can also buy like apps that go to your iPhone or your iPad or whatever, that you can just use headphones. I would recommend looking up something like that. But there's a lot of portable amps out there. Just go to Guitar Center and type in portable amplifier, guitar amplifier. The only problem with a lot of them, it just depends on what kind of distortion you want. If you desire this heavy, this heavy crunch, then those little amps may not work. But if you're just wanting to learn, Those little portable amps will work well. So. Have many swigs of Jack Daniels. Listen to Simple Man. Get a tattoo. Chicks dig tattoos. They don't care if you can play. I'll agree to that. The only way I could learn the best was with tap, and and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, like what I'll do is like I've got like 15 tab books. I've got like the first 4 Metallica albums. I've got the first 5 Iron Maiden albums on tablature, and then I used to get issues of Guitar World and all that. And what I would do is I would look at the tab, find the positions, and then try to learn it by ear at that point. So. But yeah, a good teacher is important. Do I like REO Speedwagon sticks? Yes, I do, Thomas. I'm that was kind of what I grew up listening to. My favorite Styx song is "Sweet Man in Blue." That's the best Styx song, I think. It's got that. You had a BC Rich Spoobie, but wanted a Les Paul. That's cool. Let's see. Right on. Appreciate the advice. I do what I can. I hear you balance theory with the ear training. It's all important, right? And that's the thing. You have to know some theory to kind of give you a starting point, right? It kind of gives you a roadmap of the fretboard. But I know so many musicians that could run solos around me, knew all aspects of theory, and it made them overthink. So when they went to go write in a song, they couldn't do it. They weren't good at songwriting. You can ask any famous artist. Howard Stern interviews a lot of famous artists, and they'll tell you like the biggest hits, the biggest, most memorable songs that we hear on the radio were written in like 10-15 minutes because it just came together. And so when you put in too much theory, it kind of loses something. Now I do listen to a lot of like progressive or technical like death metal, and that stuff is just like a big huge plethora of music, right? It's just concentrated music. But at the end of the day, you want that riff to stick in your head. You want that song to be catchy. And that was one of the things that Apnea always got complimented on, is that we were death metal and we had some technicality to us, but we were also catchy. And our song stuck in your head after our show was done. And that's what you want. So Eddie Van Halen didn't know a whole lot when it came to theory and reading music, etc. when he started out, but he developed an ear and he grew. So does his knowledge and theory of music. Right, and so here's the thing. You can know all the theory in the world, but if you don't have an ear, like if you can't hear that you're out of tune, if you can't hear that the notes don't go together, you can have all the theory in the world. Doesn't mean it all like blends together. Having a good ear is important. I want social distortion. Steve, have a great night, sir. Have to be up early. Had hard 4 days of running starting tomorrow. Okay, Thomas. Perfect. Thanks. One more question. Are big ass hands and fingers a problem? Keith, they can be. Most of the time, people with really fat fingers tend to be bass players or become bass players. But I will say this, in if you guys don't know my history, I've lost 120 pounds, right? And I developed more dexterity in my hand when I started losing my weight. So, and that's the other thing. Some people have short, fat fingers, and then other people have really bony, skeleton fingers that tend to do better with guitar and piano. Um, so it just depends. But if you have really fat hands, it could be more of a challenge. But when you're doing just power chords, it doesn't. It's not a thing. I wouldn't let that. You're gonna have some challenges, but I wouldn't let you keep. It shouldn't keep you from doing what you want to do. So you couldn't afford the Gibson, yeah. Spooby, I kick myself to this day. There was a time where the local store had a Gibson Explorer for $550, brand new. That same guitar 2 years later became $1,000, and now that same exact guitar is way high up, at the music store where you can't reach it. And it's like $4,000 now. I'm like, yeah, screw you. It's the same damn guitar. So, did I start with an acoustic guitar? No, Mr. Chapstick. The way I started was my dad brought a guitar home one day. It was a Yamaha Electric SE 250 or some. It was a white guitar, and he just let me have it because he a friend of his wanted to borrow money, so he basically pawned the guitar off to my dad. Well, the guy never came back for the guitar, so my dad just gave me that guitar. I would love to own a skinny body acoustic. I have an acoustic. It's a BC Rich Warlock acoustic, but it sounds like crap. I would like to get a nice Ovation or something like that, or something. I like the skinny body acoustic guitars. Right, can't focus too much on technical when you play it. The subconscious take over and play what you hear. Right, Steve. That's true. Whenever the band we wrote music together, right? And so whatever I heard in my head, I would like, okay, how about this riff? Then the drummer's like, okay, I got a beat for that, and then like you feed off that. It's like, okay, what are we hearing in our heads next? What direction? And then once we ran out of ideas, we would stop there. We would just practice what we had up to that point, record it, and then like maybe 2 weeks later, return to that and like, okay, here's what I'm feeling today to finish that song or to go above that song. But some of the best songs that I've written were written in like literally 15, 20 minutes. Apnea was catchy, so they changed the name to COVID-19. Eddie Van Halen parents were musicians, and he was taught to play the piano when he was a curtain climber. If you play piano, you can play anything. That's true. Stretching and dexterity are the keys to playing bass or guitar, and there are exercises you can do. Right, and and so for a minute, most of my guitar in Apnea is all 7-string, right? And my hand used to cramp up. And then at one point, I joined another band at the same time playing bass. And it actually strengthened my hands because my hands used to cramp up on the 7-string. But once I started playing bass, it was a workout for the guitar. So it made my guitar playing actually better. And I mentioned this in James' Best Live feed last time, was that there was a point where I was playing drums for one band, playing guitar and singing for Apnea, and then playing bass for a band called Forever Shadows. And that was fun. I enjoy playing drums. I haven't touched a drum set in like years, but I would like to pick that back up. I think I would have a little bit more motivation to play drums and guitar at this point. Too bad BC Rich isn't what it used to be, and the name has been bought and sold too many times now. Spooby, here's the thing with BC Rich. They have a new owner, and the new stuff is getting a lot of really good reviews. It's not the same era as this one. And then Brian Moser, who is it Brian? well, the last name's Moser, who was the original like builder of BC Rich guitars. He actually is selling his guitar. He's making guitars now. He's the one that came up with the 10-string BC Rich bitch. You know, he's a wiring wizard. He's a what do they call the guys that carve the wood out? He's man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Um, but he's building guitars. I would love to have one, but those are running about $3,500, and I think the most I've ever spent on a guitar was $1,500. When the next time I go live with the guitar, Spoopy, I'll bust out the other BC Rich I've got. I've got like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 BC Riches, and I have 3 Schecters. Yeah. So. And 2 of the BC Riches are USA Custom, that's the cream of the crop there. Luthier, yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go. Spooby, check out BC Rich. I don't know if you're on Instagram, but check out BC Rich on Instagram. They got a new series called Shredzilla. I want to try them out, but their new custom stuff looks really sweet. The problem is finding a dealer around you that has them so you can play them. Because, the thing, I mentioned that Guitar Center in James Best Live Feed was, filing bankruptcy. They're trying to restructure so they can stay afloat. And so what a lot of people do is they'll try the guitar or the amp out at Guitar Center, and then they'll order it online on Amazon or Musician's Friend. Musician's Friend and Guitar Center have put a lot of small independent guitar stores out of business. Guitar Center is kind of like the Best Buy or Walmart of the guitar world. And but Amazon, I mean, you can get anything on Amazon, but you try it out live in a store somewhere, so and then you order it. So the majority of the stores that are open in Springfield that aren't Guitar Center are because they have school band instrument rentals and stuff like that. They don't specialize in just guitar and rock and soundstage and stuff like that. So, how many guitars do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Yeah, I have 7 guitars. 3 are 7 strings, and the rest are 6, and I've got 1 acoustic. So. And Sergeant Ringo, buy a tuner. You need a tuner if you're going to start guitar. Your son's going to start guitar. That was the only thing that my dad ever bought for me for my guitar was a tuner. He goes, "Here's a tuner and a Mel Bay book." There you go. That was that because he knew how to play guitar, and so that was my lesson from my dad. I would never buy a guitar off Amazon. How much banging around is that thing getting before it gets to you? You will never know if there's an issue until you get it. Demon, I'll agree with you to a certain extent, because when guitar stores get these guitars in, they're also being shipped via FedEx, UPS, or whatever. Now, the difference is if a reputable guitar store will set these up before they hang them on the wall. Now, those of you who've ever been to like the Joplin Petro know that they sell guitars. And when you look at those guitars, they're not set up at all. They're not tuned at all. In fact, some of them still have paper on the strings, right? And it's like sometimes I go in there and I'll just tune the guitars for them just out of boredom there at Joplin. But those guitars are actually not bad. I mean, they're kind of priced higher for the quality they are. But yeah, the important part is the setup, you know, especially if you're dealing with the floating tremolo, you know, that kind of thing. Got a buddy that works for U.S. Customs, and he has all kinds of custom guitars. Not to mention what it would sound like, what it feels like, how it plays, right. And see, you can't just go by the brand. Demon, one time we were at a guitar store in Joplin, Missouri. You know, the whole band was there. We were playing a gig, and we decided to go in there and just check things out. And they had just gotten a shipment of new Gibson SGs, right? So I tried 3 different Gibson SGs. Same shipment, same baseline price. One played excellent, one played like crap, and one was okay. There was no consistency. And if you look back at Gibson's legacy, it's been kind of destroyed on the lower end because of lack of consistency. And Gibson was actually named one of the worst companies in Nashville to work for. Like, the people that work for Gibson aren't happy at all. So, you know, and so their product's suffering. So if you want a decent Gibson, now you got to spend thousands of dollars, where there was a time where you can buy a decent Gibson. Now, I did have an Epiphone Les Paul. It was the Goth series. It was like flat black, and it was pretty good. I dug it, but it didn't stay in tune, and times got tough for a minute for me. This is before I was driving, and I ended up selling it to help pay the bills. You better be catching an Uber to Guitar Center than buying out of the Petro. I do like those acoustic guitars there at the Petro, but no, those are meant for, you know, to pick up for your kid if you're on the road, or if you want to pick up the guitar played in your. They're not really bad guitars. Dooner, that was on Pale Rider's channel a couple weeks ago, he actually bought one of those, and he said it wasn't bad. Wow, BC Rich Mockingbird, that's cool. Yeah, I'm all about the old school BC Riches, and I used to have a USA Gunslinger. I had a Lita Ford signed Ironbird, and that thing sounded like absolute crap because it was like probably some factory reject lowline guitar that someone won in a radio show contest or something. And it had Lita Ford signature, but there was no certification. And I bought that guitar right before a gig, and it wouldn't stay in tune to save my life. I hated that guitar. Ironbirds look cool, but they're very imbalanced. Like, you strap them on and the headstock drops, you know. So, have you watched Justin Johnson? Pretty good. Has guitars made out of cigar box, a shovel, and other objects. No. Have you dated yours? As far as my USA, my USAs are from 2000, 99, 2000. My 7-string USA Custom was actually one of the last guitars that Bernie Rico Sr. actually put his physical hands on and helped work on. So, and it's actually got a signature on the back of the headstock. So, and then the other custom I bought off a friend of mine, I think it was around the same era. So the USA Gunslinger I had was from the the Class Axe era, Spoopy. You remember that? That was like the mid 80s. First 2 numbers stamped on the neck is the year on the BC Rich. At least it was back in the day. Yeah, that's true. I spent 500, you know, because I got the 7-string new. This one we got new, but there's not even a serial number on this thing. But this is the, you know, Avenge series, which, you know, I think it's like a step up from the bronze. There's a bronze BC Rich Warlock at one of the local pawn shops. Thanks for the info. See you on the road, driver. You got to tell me how you lost 120 pounds quick. I got to get some sleep. Keith Howell, it was a 1-year process and it was keto. That's your answer. Ketogenic diet. I spent 500 a few years back to buy my Les Paul from Guitar Center. It plays really good. I've let someone who can play try it, and he said it was good, so it's good. Catch you on the flip side, right? Yeah, it is getting late, but it's Saturday night, right? And since Jeff didn't want me in his feed, we'll just, you know, we'll do my own feed. Keith, all you got to do is avoid all flour, all sugar, all pasta. Avoid the carbs. Moderate protein, heavy on the fat. You'll lose weight. Don, what's up, man? Well, guys, we're going to get off here. It's been an hour, right? And hour's my limit. My analytics hate my live feeds. I can't seem to get above 20, 25 anymore, which is fine. My ego can handle it. Some of us aren't fancy safety guys. We still have to drive. I'm in Alabama tonight, but on my way back to Texas. I'll be working tomorrow, Spoopy. I'll be working tomorrow. I don't know if you call me a fancy safety guy. I'm just a mediocre safety guy. Ask Jeff. I did have to take a call at 2 in the morning though for a non-safety situation. One that I'll talk about on a video, not specific, but just in general, because it could be good advice for someone. And I'm sure Jeff appreciates that I took a call at 2 in the morning and he didn't have to. Maybe have an easy listening live chat. Yeah, but hit the thumbs up, smash the thumbs up, you know. I'll leave this one up. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys rule. And we'll be back to trucking tomorrow. So, peace.